4 good friends building a company to 50 staff to 100 staff to 1,000 staff, especially across many geographies. Culture has to change. In fact, if I'm interviewing you, I'm not asking, how do you conform to my culture? Do you culturally fit into my business? I don't want that. I want to understand, Hendrik, Mark, how do you enhance my culture? How do you build my culture? How do you grow my culture, right? And that's something that's really important. So one of the things that I'll always say is that culture has to evolve. It has to change. I'll use don't. I'll use underpin. The values we have today in Go One, and again, I've not been involved for a decent period of time in the company, but if I was to go to Germany and meet one of our team members who has just been hired last week, and I meet them, there is a high chance that that person shares the same values as me. Because as a founder, I've hired the person who 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 hired them. And I would hope that through that whole process, and I know that through that process, our decision to hire you, and to be frank, our decision to fire you, is not based on your capability, but also based on the values, right? And being highly capable is one of the values that we look at, right? And over time, we have rebranded our values so that it was easier to communicate to our team. But the underlying core values we have around being humble, hungry, honest, hardworking, making sure that we have a real focus on our customer, making sure that we understand that at the end of the day, learning is the core of what we do and the foundation, and having a passion for learning is important in the company. Those concepts have been rebranded several times over so that our team can understand it on a poster or an onboarding video or whatever it might be. But the core essence of those values has existed since the very first day, well before we started what Go One is today, right? So culture changes, values don't. And so for me, as I went through this journey, as we scaled Go One and grew Go One, what I came to understand is I love the company because of the values that we had. And as our culture evolved, I love the culture we were building. But for me personally, what I learned was I'm not made for a big company.